Think about Washington, D.C., and you probably picture a rigid grid of white marble, dark suits, and political gridlock, a city frozen in stone. But that clinical postcard view misses the reality on the ground. This city radically transforms with every flip of the calendar. To actually know the capital, we have to look past the 7th grade history textbook versions of these streets. We need to step into the hidden neighborhoods and watch the geography shift as the weather turns. The massive testaments to American history only tell half the story. The rest is written in fleeting, intimate moments happening in their shadows. If you treat this place like a static map of tourist checkpoints, you'll never see its true identity. You have to experience it as a moving timeline. That timeline usually starts here. The National Mall is a massive 2-mile stretch of carefully manicured green space running directly to the U.S. Capitol. It is built to feel permanent, imposing, and rigid. Yet, if you step just slightly off that main grid toward the tidal basin in early spring, that rigidity vanishes. Thousands of cherry trees erupt into bloom, creating ethereal pink clouds that reflect off the water and soften the entire landscape. The air smells sweet, the walkways are blanketed in petals, and the atmosphere feels completely weightless. This brief, delicate explosion of color happens right next to the immovable weight of history. For generations, massive crowds have gathered on these exact lawns to demand change and witness the shaping of a nation. The awe-inspiring scale of the architecture suddenly feels less intimidating. The sheer force of the monuments is balanced by this brief, cyclical rebirth. From the wide-open, sunlit expanse of the mall, the city pulls you inward, into spaces defined by shadows and quiet reverence. Tucked away on a regular downtown street, Ford's Theater is remarkably modest. With its simple brick facade and arched white doorways, it doesn't shout for attention like the marble monoliths nearby. But step inside, and the air is heavy. The echoes of a single night in 1865 remain perfectly preserved, marking the exact room where a presidential assassination altered the trajectory of the country. You don't have to stay in the quiet past for long. Just a few neighborhoods over, the city is loud, fast, and intensely alive. Eastern Market and Capitol Hill is a sensory overload. Vendors calling out over counters, the smell of fresh produce and hot food. It's a continuous, buzzing gathering point where locals actually live their lives, far away from the political cameras. And this working-class pulse has been beating for centuries. Down at the southwest waterfront, the municipal fish market has been operating continuously since 1805, an unbroken line of merchants, boats, and fresh catches. The silence of the theater and the chaos of the fish market are both essential parts of the city's machinery. This is where the grand historical narrative finally touches the everyday lives of the people who call this grid home. When the stifling heat of the summer finally breaks, October brings a crisp, decaying beauty to the region. It's the perfect time to leave the standard tourist grid behind entirely. Tucked away in the northeast corner of the city is the United States National Arboretum. It's an expansive, quiet sanctuary of forests and gardens, a world away from the crowded downtown museums. And if you walk far enough into its meadows, you'll stumble upon something that looks like an ancient ruin. 22 freestanding Corinthian columns rise up out of an empty field. These once supported the U.S. Capitol building, but now they stand completely alone, framed brilliantly by the warm, burning colors of the autumn trees. Standing here, the Capitol reveals itself as an expansive, interconnected universe. Discovering these solitary columns requires leaving the paved tourist paths to find the layers of history hidden in the city's actual geography. From walking beneath towering marble giants, softened by spring cherry blossoms, to uncovering quiet historical theaters and hidden autumnal ruins, you start to see the continuous evolution of the city. Washington rewards anyone willing to look beyond the obvious. Drop the map, Ignore the postcards and step into the timeline for yourself.